Hi, I'm Matthew. I'm the tech founder of Matrix.org.
Hello, I'm Amandine, and I'm Matthew's co-founder for Matrix.
So, Amandine, tell us, what is Matrix and what's it all about?
Well, Matrix is an open and secure and decentralized communication network and protocol. Basically, we're trying to bring back the control of their communication to the users. It's an alternative to the centralized network who are only owned by big corporations. And hopefully one day, every one of these are going to actually run on top of Matrix.
I guess I'd say that it's the missing communication layer of the web that we're trying to build here. That the web historically for real-time comms has been these very fragmented into commercial proprietary silos like WhatsApp and Slack and Discord. With Matrix, we're just trying to build a protocol that links it all back together, much like email and the web does on the internet itself.
So what are the three things you would say are people should know about Matrix, Matthew?
Well, Matrix does a great many things, but here are the big three. That we are letting people and organizations self-host their communication infrastructure and their messaging and collaboration data. So this is letting you run your own Slack or WhatsApp or Discord style service, but on your own terms, whilst also participating in the wider network. Secondly, it is an open network, so you're not just sitting in a silo, you are talking in a network of over 18 million different users and 45 different deployments, including bridges through to proprietary systems, so the poor people stuck in Slack, etc., can still come and talk on Matrix too. And finally, we've put an awful lot of effort into end-to-end encryption, taking the stuff that Signal has pioneered, decentralizing it, making it available to the whole network, and in fact, turning it on by default as of a few months ago. We've also added in cross-signing so that you can tell whether you're talking to the right people or not. So basically, self-sovereign, decentralized, interoperable, secure communication. So what's all this about Riot and Modular and NeuVector, Amandine?
It's true, these three names come along Matrix quite often. So Matrix is the open source project. It's a proper open source project, which is handled by a non-for-profit foundation called the Matrix.org Foundation. And separately, you do have Riot, Modular, and NeuVector. NeuVector is the for-profit company which develop apps and services built on top of Matrix and hires the core Matrix team. Riot is the flagship application, which of course runs on Matrix. It's open source and can be compared to a Slack or a WhatsApp, for example. And Modular is the hosting platform for Matrix-based deployments. So you can self-host your Matrix server or servers, but Modular is there for people who don't want to do it because it's like a mail server, right? It's not necessarily the thing you actually want to spend time or money on. So you just call Modular and set up your own server within Modular. So we are also currently rolling NeuVector, Modular, and Riot into one single brand. And when you listen to this new brand may be already out there.
I hope it is. It should be.
Fingers crossed.
I should probably tell people that Modular is very cheap too, at only $1.50 per user per month for using our hosting platform. So that's almost 5 times cheaper than Slack, just saying.
So how can I use Matrix, Matthew?
Well, I guess the easiest way is to just download Riot straight off the app stores. It will connect to the public Matrix.org home server by default, and you can get up and running like that. Or if you're feeling a little bit more techie, you could go and download one of the many apps, 60 or so out there, which people have built on top of Matrix as alternative clients. Could be command line based, could be React Native, could be Flutter. Riot itself is written for web or Electron on the desktop or iOS or Android. Then you can use the public server, as I mentioned, or you can run your own one or get one from Modular. And if you're a developer looking to hack on Matrix, head over to matrix.org/docs/spec, and you can read the entire Matrix protocol standard and see just how easy it is to send a message with a single HTTP hit, or receive a message with an HTTP hit, and get writing your own client, bot, bridge, or indeed server if you're feeling really ambitious. And then your app users will be able to communicate with anybody else on the wider Matrix network. So talking about the network, Amandine, who is on Matrix?
So as you said, 18 million people are actually reachable on the network, and it's across at least 45,000 deployments, because it's hard to see all the deployments out there, a lot of them are actually not phoning home or telling us they actually exist. But it's been particularly popular with governments who really love the idea of having an alternative to Slack and WhatsApp that they can actually control and run themselves in any environment. It can be in the cloud, could be on their own hardware, can be air gap network, wherever. And for example, France has deployed it across the board with their own open source app called CHAP. The Bundeswehr in Germany has announced it's switching to Matrix as well. And there is also the city of Hamburg and Schleswig-Holstein in Germany as well, powering communication for school and administration. And in the US, the Department of Emergency Management in Texas is actually using it. So there are a lot of other governments who are jumping on it, but we are not allowed to talk about it yet. On the other side, there are a lot of individuals, anyone who just wants a privacy-preserving alternative to WhatsApp or Slack, or companies like Mozilla, for example, who switched to Matrix a couple of months back. Big open source projects like KDE and others are also relying on it for communication. And on the other side, on the building side of things, companies like Thales and Ericsson and others are building on top of it applications they are reselling on to their own customers. And this is, of course, alongside thousands of actual open source developers building fun projects because they like it. But so that's basically the present of Matrix and where we got to. What does the future looks like for it, Matthew?
Well, I mean, the future's a long time, but the immediate things that we have on the horizon is improving the first-time user experience in Matrix and Riot massively. We have to get it to a level equivalent to Slack or Teams or Discord. And with the new release, it should hopefully have landed by the time you hear this. We have made a massive new step in the right direction, but there's still a lot of polishing to be done there. Beyond that, we have peer-to-peer Matrix, which we'll be talking about at ComCon, which is really exciting sci-fi stuff where you get rid of the server entirely and run your Matrix identity entirely off your phone or inside your browser. So that's really exciting. Also, lots more work to be done around moderation and safety and trust to make sure that of the 18 million users out there, you can tune out the ones you don't want to hear from if you don't like the sort of thing that they're discussing. But doing it on your terms rather than doing it based on any centralized moderation system. So, yeah, I think those are the main immediate things, but obviously we've got to build virtual worlds and we've got to rewrite everything in Rust and we've got to replace the phone network with it and we've got to replace email with it and who knows.
Well, in any case, yeah, we strongly encourage everyone to have a look and come play with it and join this big network. And hopefully, as Matthew says, we'll replace PSTN in email one day and have somewhere where we can chat, where we know who is hosting our data and where you can actually choose the app you want to use to talk to people without being forced to a user experience you don't like.
Perfect. Well, come join Matrix. Hopefully see you there. Bye.
Bye.